right, welcome back everybody. So in order for you to get the most out of your vibe coding or prompt driven development or agentic code, whatever you want to call it, and also whether you're using Microsoft Visual Studio Code or Cursor or Windsurf or any of the other agent enabled IDEs, here is the best way to make sure you get the most out of that, and also making sure that the agent stays on track with what it's trying to develop. So let's get into it. All right, so what you guys are seeing here is Visual Studio Code, and the thing you want to do is set up first and foremost a product requirements document, a PRD, and you can do this inside of your IDE using your agent. And as I've noted, Claude Sonnet 4 is just it is really good. It is insanely good compared to, I've been using Sonnet 3.7, GPT 4.1, O4 Mini, Gemini 2.5 Pro. As you can see here, I've been testing a lot of these, and with Sonnet 4, it's a leap, very much big leap forward in terms of the LLM. So back to how to improve your vibe coding. You want to make sure you set up your product requirements document, your PRD. And I'm not going to go into the details of the PRD, but what this does is first and foremost, identifies what it is you're trying to build. And then the next step you want to take once you're done with the PRD and you're happy with the different functionality, core features, and so on. Once you're done with that, you want to actually tell the LLM, tell your agent that, hey, look at this PRD and help me put together a project tracker. And these two documents, in addition to a few others I will show you here in a second, will make sure that, one, you personally are staying on track with the project build and the application build, but also the agent can go step by step, because what it does is it takes the PRD, identifies the features that it needs to build out. And this order of the build here was not something that I put together. This is the order in which the agent, here in this case Sonnet 4, has helped me figure out how to build this thing systematically so that we get the best results. And as you can see here, visually speaking, I've gone through a lot of this. This is a fairly complete app that I've been working on. And so you can see here, what's the component it's building, what's the implementation stage. We got a green light here. Are the unit tests done and, successful, and the integration tests and so on. So these two documents are very important steps for you guys to significantly improve your vibe coding process. Okay, so don't just randomly start prompting what you want to actually build, but make sure you provide some structure to the agent so that you can stay on track with what you're trying to build. So let me show you one other thing here. So that was Microsoft Visual Studio Code, and here we are looking at Cursor. And so I'm doing the same thing with the build out of WOT-AI here. So I got the PRD, and with the subscription model, I have a separate tracker, and you guys can see here on the left that I'm sort of numbering the main component builds, and it's going to, the agent actually started to build out these other documents, right? And so you can see it's starting to break it up into task documents. But the main thing here is a project tracker. So again, breaking it up into tasks and subtasks and making sure we keep on track. So I went through this number 2 project tracker quite significantly. And then I asked it actually to create a separate document so that this testing document is purely just from the project tracker. Phases 1 through 5. The agent was starting to go into phase 6, and I told it to stop so that we can properly test phase 1 through 5. And you can see here we've got a lot of different tests, and again, Sonnet 4 is doing a lot of this work, right? So, but it's creating all the tests, making sure that they're successfully test it, and if it doesn't, it's going to go back and forth and try and fix all of these. But trying to do all these tests, for example, just as how you might be currently processing this is, if something breaks, you go, hey, what happened here? Can you fix this? Oh, wait, what happened here? And so on and so forth. So rather than sort of randomly prompting your agent, by creating the PRD and the project tracker and additional supporting documents, and you can see here there are a lot of other documents that you can be building, it keeps everything structured, on track, and also the agent knows what status it was at before maybe you took a break, or you know, the connection to the model broke, or whatever it might be. But again, this is a very structured way for you guys to significantly improve your vibe coding process. Highly recommend taking this approach, and you don't want to necessarily start, with your backend development before you've done the work. Let's say in Lovable or in Cursor, where you've done the front end work. There's some new tools that are coming out, especially from Google, for better sort of front end building. And once you're done with that and you actually need to start getting it ready for production, this is at the time at which I would highly recommend getting your PRD in place and a project tracker and additional documents. So here, because in my instance, phase 1 through 5 of the subscription plan build out was so significant, I needed to make sure that I break this out into separate documents so that I can keep the agent on track, and also myself to understand where we are in the development cycle. So hope that this approach, if it isn't already something you've implemented, you can take this approach into all of your sort of application builds and keep yourself and also the agent on track as you guys are building out your applications. All right, good luck with all your products, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.